thanks so much for joining us for Wake Up Charlotte to go on this Wednesday. I'm Carolyn Brook.
And I'm Ben Thompson. Also, happy Veterans Day to all our veterans out there. Let's go ahead and get a check of your forecast with Larry Sprinkle. And Larry, we're in for some wet weather.
It is not a pretty day today. Heavy rainfall in the forecast with a flood watch. That's in effect for the entire area. That's until 7 p.m. tonight, maybe extended beyond that. I think the main issue would be the amount of rain that we get. Could cause some flooding, flash flooding out there potential, maybe even some gusty winds. Those are the potential severe weather issues. It's just going to be a very mild, very muggy day today. High humidity and temperatures ranging into the mid, even upper 70s. You can see that rain continues kind of on and off throughout the day today. Rainfall totals, you go just northwest of here, 3 to 6 inches of rain. That could cause some major problems, flash flooding. Charlotte metro area 3 to 4 inches, and just southeast of here 2 to 3 inches, a definite possibility. So be aware how much heavy rain we're going to get today, and again mainly tomorrow after midnight through tomorrow morning. And then Friday is okay. The weekend, a few showers, but much cooler. We'll be in the mid to upper 60s over the upcoming weekend. Notice the high next Tuesday, only 60 degrees, and that's your forecast this morning.
Larry, thanks. Now to some stories of the day in your morning rush. A change of plans for CMS middle schoolers. Students will keep learning from home now for a few more weeks.
Hey there, good morning. Billie Jean Shaw here in Uptown. There's been a change for when CMS middle schoolers return to school. They were originally supposed to go back on the 23rd, but due to a bus driver shortage across the district, the board has now pushed those dates back. A group of middle schoolers will now return on the 30th, and another group will return January 5th.
Dozens of people blocking traffic in Uptown where the Black Lives Matter mural is painted. This coming after Charlotte City Council voted to reopen South Tryon to traffic 5 months after it was painted. Protesters say they want Charlotte to preserve the mural and keep it blocked off. City leaders say the street closure was never intended to be permanent.
Local health leaders now concerned about packed events at another Charlotte church. Some new video we're showing you right here. You can see it shows hundreds of people at Kingdom City Church. They're singing, they're worshiping, many without masks on. This comes as the Queen City is still dealing with a deadly outbreak at another church, the United House of Prayer. We know more than 200 people were infected there after that church hosted a similar event.
Cal Cunningham has conceded the U.S. Senate election to Senator Tom Tillis. He released a statement saying the voters have spoken and he respects that decision. The race between Tillis and Cunningham still has not officially been called, but Tillis leads by 95,000 votes.
I'm Tracy Potts. For the first time, we are hearing from President-elect Joe Biden on President Trump's refusal to accept the election results. He calls it an embarrassment. But turns out his administration is not cooperating with this transition at all. In fact, now the Secretary of State says they are only working toward a second Trump administration. We haven't seen President Trump in 5 days since the election results were announced, but today he's expected to be at Arlington National Cemetery to commemorate Veterans Day.
Speaking of Veterans Day, this is a trending topic online as thousands of people here in the Carolinas and all across the country say a special thank you to every veteran in their life for their service and their sacrifice. There are several different events taking place across the country today, and we'll mention some in our area. As I said overnight, it was the top 6 trending topic on Twitter. Today is the day that we celebrate. We honor all of our nation's veterans for their sacrifice. It's not to be confused with Memorial Day, which honors service members who are no longer with us. There are several events, as I mentioned, here around the Charlotte area. It includes a care package pickup in Charlotte, and then a couple of virtual events in Huntersville and Davidson, as well as a closing ceremony at the Fields of Honor in Kannapolis. So many of you guys have been texting us pictures of your loved ones who have served or are serving. Thank you for sending them in. Continue to text us their picture, name, and when they served to 704-329-3600. I want to mention a few right here on the show. So thank you to the Carter family for sending this picture to honor and thank Cameron Davis for his service, serving from 2011 to 2016. Also, thank you to Officer Tony Harris for your 20 years of service in the Army from 73 to 93. Brent Roberts, thanks for sending in this picture of your son. A special thank you to Sergeant Airman Chance Roberts, who is currently serving overseas. And the last one for now from Christian Shantz. Thank you to your dad retired Air Force Major John Shantz. He started his pilot training here in Charlotte. Then he went to the Air Force and ended up retiring in 1982 in Germany. There are so many more to get to, so we will continue sharing these shout outs for Veterans Day at our noon show and throughout the day here on WCNC Charlotte. So drop them in the comments below or text them to us. Back to you guys.
And if you see a veteran today, make sure you thank him. Time now to connect the dots when we make the news make sense. The governor lowering the number of people allowed at indoor gatherings. And it turns out there's a reason our local health officials are so concerned about COVID-19 spreading quickly this holiday season.
The cooler, less humid weather could actually be putting you at greater risk for catching COVID-19. Let's connect the dots. It boils down to two things: the drier, less humid air and spending more time indoors. Scientists say that dry air can literally dry out your respiratory tract. That thins out the tissues that line our airways, making it easier for a virus to infect our lungs. Experts say this is why we're more likely to get a cold or flu in the winter. Humidity also affects how long the virus stays in the air. If we sneeze in the humid air, the particles are heavier, so they fall to surfaces quicker. The drier the air, the longer those particles will linger because they're lighter. That could put everybody in the room at risk. It also is much easier for the virus to spread inside simply because there's less ventilation. And that is Connecting the Dots.
Now to some stories to keep you and your family safe and sound today. No need to worry about messing up Thanksgiving dinner. Just take out insurance on your turkey. Whole Foods partnering with Progressive to offer backup for struggling chefs. If you manage to burn or undercook one of their turkeys, you could submit a claim and they may send you a gift card in return. Whole Foods says it added the option because many families are hosting smaller events this year, so you may not have your usual turkey expert in the mix.
Interesting stuff. It's the thought that counts, right? You have to remind yourself that when you get some knitted socks from grandma this holiday season, because according to new research, 85% of people say they actually plan on giving homemade gifts to someone on their list this year. So what should you expect? Well, the prediction is that the most common handmade gift will be baked goods. Also on the list, some personal artwork, some socks, sweaters, or blankets. And I think that's because we've also been told that during this pandemic, people have taken up knitting.
Just don't give me any food.
You don't need any more?
I've eaten enough this year, and I don't need any snacks sitting around the house.
Well, I'll take them then, because I've eaten enough this year too, but you know what?
There's always room for more.
Bring it on. Make sure you watch us each and every morning starting at 4:30 a.m. on Wake Up Charlotte.